First off, wow. Who could have seen this performance, especially with the season that Liverpool's been having? I think after the Arsenal game, there's always the concern that when Liverpool have these bounce back moments, then they become vulnerable and they lose whatever steam got them into the position that they got into to be successful. We've seen it they when they beat Manchester City. We saw it recently against Arsenal, but the difference is they were able to follow up a good performance with an even better performance. And I think this is for three main reasons. One, Curtis Jones, fantastic today in the midfield. And it makes sense because he is probably the next tallest midfielder out of the selection that's on the bench. He's physical. He's quick to the ball on defense. Now, his timing hasn't always been perfect, but we saw today that it can be good. And it's against the Leeds side that's struggling. So, in a sense, you need to take it with a grain of salt. But the fact that they played so well against a team that they should beat is a good sign. It's a really good sign. I truly think that Curtis Jones was the key to today's win. He was able to lock up the midfield and start the press, or at least be the second person to the ball. And that's what we've really been missing. When we've had Thiago, Fabinho, and Henderson, none of them have the legs to pounce on a ball quickly. We saw that differently today. When we think of who could potentially have the pace to pick up players that get by on the wings past Mo or past Jota or past Gakpo, who is going to be able to cover him? And Curtis Jones has shown that he is capable. So I honestly think that he was the key today. Maybe I'm wrong. Tear into me. Who cares? Debate me. Well, what do you think? What do you think was the key? Now, my next topic, or my next reason why I think this has been successful. Two, there's been so much noise about Jude Bellingham and Liverpool being able to take their foot off the gas pedal in that saga and look within. It has kind of forced players to step up because this whole season, guys coming back from injury, Liverpool wanting to sign Jude Bellingham. Now that they said they're out of that, now that we know we can't sign anyone until the summer, but it turns the focus back inwards. We're not trying to solve the issues with an outside variable. And for the entire season, it's kind of felt like the team was missing something or missing someone. When maybe that wasn't the case. Maybe it was more of a mindset, a belief, a hope. And Liverpool haven't needed hope the past couple of years. They've been able to get into this top level of performance, be robotic in a sense, and execute and get to the positions that they've needed to. But we saw that alone isn't enough. I think you need to have hope at all times, because when you have hope, you know that there is the possibility for failure and to be let down and to be hurt. But if you let go of all hope, then what is your passion? What is driving you to succeed? And I think now that we're out of any trophy races, top four is not looking very likely. Now Liverpool are developing hope for themselves. They're developing a sense of pride, and I really think that pointed back to the scuffle. Not that it was weak, but it was weak. It wasn't a scuffle. But the scuffle between Trent Alexander-Arnold and Granit Xhaka was the spark, because Liverpool needed a villain. All these months, they've been the villain to themselves. They've been the ones criticizing each other, letting each other down. So Granit Xhaka took all of that negative energy and focus and he absorbed it in that moment. And it united the team around him. United the time against him. And it seems like the mindset has kind of changed where you're developing that sense of, one, self-pride. No one likes losing. No one likes that embarrassment, the shame that comes with losing. But they're professionals. They know how to take it. They know how to separate feeling from fact and work on their game. But then you need that drive and that hope and that motivation to push you towards a win. And Granit Xhaka, he took all that anger and frustration and he put it on himself unknowingly. And the team has kind of united. And I love to see it. Because when they feel united, I feel united. I feel like I'm there on the pitch with them. And that's what you want. The third reason why I think today was successful, it's not a coincidence that Trent has moved into this midfield role, coming from the right back position, the game after he faced Pep Guardiola at Manchester City, when they did the exact same thing. Now, obviously, Klopp has his different tactics within that setup, but the way we saw Manchester City bring in their defenders to create a midfield and create a lot of chaos and confusion, that's how they really ran us over. We did not know how to respond to it. Now, I haven't done a super deep dive to look at what the breakdown of each section is and what the role of each person is, and I love doing that, and I want to see what the differences between Klopp and Pep Guardiola are on, the small level, the detailed level, but that'll come later. So Klopp and Pep Guardiola, if they combine, they'd be the perfect manager. Pep Guardiola has the pure tactical analysis brain that is always moving. You see, he's always trying to tinker with the setup. And Klopp, he just has the people management. When it comes to developing players and developing culture, I don't think anyone does it better than Jurgen Klopp. Because he doesn't do it from a fear standpoint of view. He doesn't do it from you're being paid this much, so this is why you have to do it. He taps into what makes each player and each person in the club tick, and he allows that to exist and use that to create a diverse, functional culture. Now, Pep Guardiola, he's a master at it too, but I don't think he's on the same level when it comes to people management. Pep Guardiola, tactical analysis, he wins that. People management, Jurgen Klopp. They're two different ways of coaching. And when I think down to it, people who have chemistry are going to be more successful in the long run than pure X's and O's. Again, it goes back to that hope and drive. But back to my point, Jurgen Klopp, he saw something in that formation that he could do with his players, and he's done it. And Trent Alexander-Arnold looks like a kid having fun again. And you love to see it. I don't care if it's opposition players or our players. We love the sport, and we want to have fun watching it. And when the players are having fun, then that brings joy to us as well. So Jurgen, he definitely took some of Pep's tactics, but that's okay because he put his own spin on it, and it's proven to be effective right now. What I would like to see is Klopp start to think about, well, what is going to be the next rendition? And how is the mastery of this current formation going to build into the next iteration? Because that's where we got stuck this year. We were trying to do the same thing that we did last year and the year before in a robotic manner with no foresight. And as soon as the players didn't have the physical capabilities to execute that, mostly because it requires a high amount of energy and physicality, then we saw that system collapse. So I want to see Jurgen Klopp really look at the next iteration a rendition of this formation, and try to get a couple steps ahead of the game. That's where I think he could probably improve the most. Pep, I think his people management probably needs to be a little better. You know, you don't want to see players like Joao Cancelo just getting up and deciding that they want to leave. That so much tension has built up that he just wants to leave. And Bernardo Silva has been wanting to leave for a while, and Gundogan is rumored to be in the interest of Barcelona. And you don't really hear that come from the Liverpool camp. That just might be good management and good news management and media management. But I do believe if there were truly consistent problems, we'd hear about it. But we don't hear about it the same way we do at Manchester City. Those are just my opinions on the variations. So those are my 3 reasons why I think Liverpool were so successful today. And if they can continue that, they will go on a tear for the last couple matches of the season and really gain some momentum into the summer. I appreciate you. Like, subscribe, or don't. Who cares? Bye.